Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. We're 39. Now, just to get a little bit of perspective, a show of hands for anyone who's 40 years or above. I'm going to go ahead and say this is about 15 to 20% of the attendees. Do we agree? The majority of attendees for TED here in Dubai are somewhere between 25 and 35. It's important to note when we think of the United Arab Emirates, when we're born into it, and we were not living at the time when it was found, we take it for granted. And we think that it was something that was always there. In 1971, when the United Arab Emirates was found, the reactions to its announcement were met with a range of reactions from dismissal to skepticism. A quick look at where we are today. If you look below at literacy rates, if you look below at infant mortality rates, the GDP has skyrocketed, rural and urban living has increased. It's nothing short than a fantastic and miraculous success that the United Arab Emirates is. But what do we think about our responsibility towards the flag the day it was raised? Whether we are Emiratis or non-Emiratis who have lived here and have our children and friends and all our memories here. What is our responsibility to our flag? What is our responsibility to Zayed and Rashid, who found the nation? And most importantly, even more important than Zayed and Rashid, what is our responsibility to ourselves? Because at the end of the day, Sheikh Zayed and Sheikh Rashid, may they both rest in peace, had both realized that for themselves, for their families, for their tribesmen, for everybody that was around them, it made sense to unify. The union was better for everyone. It elevated them from tribesmen to modern state citizens. It took them from being scattered around areas on coasts to having an internationally recognized nation. Everybody should aim to leave this world in a better state than when they arrived to it. You cannot accept anything less for yourself. But better how, right? The question is, well, that's easy. Be the best that you can be. If you can be the wealthiest person in the world, I promise you, you'll employ enough people that it will trickle down and it will make the world a better place. If you can be the better doctor, if you can be a better scientist, if you can be an artist, but be the best that you can be. As long as you decide, as long as you demand from yourself to be better, you will find that which it is that makes you better. Every person should ask themselves why I'm here. Now, a quick look at entrepreneurship, the state of entrepreneurship in the UAE. If you look at the bar chart below, around 8.4% in 07, has increased to about 13.3%. The bar charts above show you that the UAE sits at the 6th highest level of expectation to start businesses. 43% of you expect to start your business in the next 3 years. Now, when you look at the age range of 25 to 39, that number increases 52%. So there is hope. But a quick look at the sectors where we're focusing on, with construction and forestry, it shows that 97% of these sectors use low or limited or almost no technology. A lot to say about entrepreneurship. The creative economies, everything from film to theater to design to gaming, all these fantastic fields that we think usually as sources of charity are actually considered, labeled as the creative economy in the UK as a case model. The contribution of the creative economy to gross value added, which is GDP minus tax, adding back subsidies, has increased from 5% to 6.2% between 1997 and 2007. So clearly, there's a lot to be done there. So why am I saying all of this? The reason for this is that we have to take all into account in the crisis. The bar above shows how much commercial space there is in Dubai, and the bar below shows how much residential space in Dubai. End of 2009. Commercial is at 33% vacancies, and residential is at 10% vacancy. Big deal, right? Enough people will come when the boom. Here's how much coming onto the market between now and the end of 2012. By the end of 2012, commercial space will have doubled. Now, who's going to live there? If it's not for us, who are going to start businesses, if it's not, who are going to become successful, who are going to create music, who's going to create stories, if it's not us, who is going to fill this, and who's going to save the city? Who is going to save the nation? Who is going to take it to the next level? What have we done for the nation when it is time of the dire and need? What are we there for? The dust of the bust has settled. We clearly have perspective about the magnitude of the crisis, the challenges that we have ahead, and what we're going to do. And we've had time to look at lost opportunities. We've also had time to absorb the challenges and the opportunities that we have in the future. The question is, where do we go from here? Or what do we want to do? I say this because I could sit here and I could go to the movies and I could stay on budget and I could save money for the next 3-4 years until the next round of investors come and decide that Dubai is priced correctly, or until the government pumps in enough money in the crisis and gets us out of there. But then what am I? I'm the boy with a silver spoon that fed himself with it. I choose not to be the boy with the silver spoon. I refuse for you all to be boys with silver spoons and girls with silver spoons. I refuse for us all not to participate in the recovery. We all have to enjoy the challenge as much as we've enjoyed the growth. We all have to participate in the recovery. We have to think of our responsibility to ourselves before anyone else about what we did when we had tough times. And if that's not good enough, think of the children, right? When you're not, I'm not talking about an orphanage, I'm talking about your children. When they grow up later and they ask you why the schools don't teach as well as they should, or the hospitals don't cure as well as they should, and the streets aren't clean as you want them to be, what are you going to tell them? I was busy going to the movies and I didn't try. The dust of the bust may have settled, but we will move the rubble. That's why I'm here. Thank you.